music gave me an identity through my childhood years when I felt like I didn't really have one. When you understand purpose, you move different. Start looking at people that were successful. And then I start looking at all the things they stopped doing because they got comfortable. And those are the things I start doing. When you establish a brand around your clients, it's still showing you, but you've establishing a brand around your clients. You're highlighting them, and their response is what highlights you. Value the people that value you.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Epiphany Off the Cuff. We're in season 2, and this is our post-pandemic launch. How's everybody doing today?
Doing great.
Awesome. I'm so glad that we're back. This is it's been a little bit of a hiatus, just with everything going on. Terrell, you were going to be our last guest, before everything hit the fan, so to speak, and you ended up taking a vacation, let's say, and we'll certainly talk a little bit about that in a little bit.
Okay.
But very good. I'm glad that we can get back here. So my name is Rick Meekins. I'm going to be your host. We have Hazel. Hazel's going to be our co-host, and today our guest is going to be Terrell Varnes. Wonderful story, a wonderful person. I think you're really going to get a lot out of this show. So again, welcome to the show, and we are glad to be back. Terrell, you want to give us a quick introduction to our audience?
Well, my name is Terrell Varnes. A lot of people, know me as Mr. CSA2K. I'm actually in media. I do radio. I'm a manager. I have an artist. He's actually inspirational, hip hop artist. And I actually have a radio station, which these two banners are behind me. I have a radio show, and as well as a station um, that caters to urban and hip hop gospel music. I am a spiritual based person, positive. I believe in purpose. I believe in uplifting people as well as
Beautiful,
the culture itself. And I'm an influencer, and I work a lot in the music industry realm. So,
beautiful, man. You got a lot going on. How are you managing all this? I mean, you listed 6 or 7 different things. I mean, are
yeah.
these things that you're doing by yourself, or are these things that you've got a team, or how are you managing all of it?
Well, with well, I'm also the CEO of Coalition Kingdom DJs, which is a urban and hip hop gospel based chapter inside of the up under the Coalition DJs umbrella, and I have a president of the company, which his name is Tibbs, and I have like 3 other DJs. So
Okay.
me and Tibbs do a lot with that, and also with my radio station WBP Radio. Tibbs is also my co-partner with that, so we partner with that, and everything else outside the mix shows I do outside the radio show that I actually do, the consultant I do, an artist and managing my artists. It's like everything is inside itself, so it's not like I'm shifting away from nothing in order to do something.
Hmm.
So I kind of just set everything up out of a week to week basis. So
Okay.
so it's like from Monday through Friday, I done already adjusted what's gonna get done, and if anything comes into play, I just schedule it in. So everything falls suit. So and then everything needs each other. So when each one of them needs each other, then it kind of makes it easy to do it. And I'm a fan of what I do. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. So everything's working together, and you're kind of approaching the marketplace, if you will, with different hats. So you guys can be
yes,
efficient, but you're also reaching different parts of the market with what might be more appealing to them. That sounds awesome. That sounds awesome.
man of many gifts.
It's good to
Hey,
be.
gotta use them all.
There is something about creatively expressing your faith that gives purpose to what you do. And it's very rare to encounter someone who can marry passion, faith, career, and integrate them into a single vision. That being said, walk us through how your life had gone into this direction. When was the first moment, so to speak, first moment of self-reliance or ownership? Like, how did you go from, simply having faith, having your own purpose, your own beliefs, to actually lighting that spark of business entrepreneurship, bridging that passion and faith with your career? And, the idea of, I'm not going to create for someone else, I'm going to create something on my own.
Well, it started when I was young. Like I I went through a lot, and it's like you know how when you wanted help, when you wanted help growing up, you didn't really have it, and then when it came the way it came, and you had to deal with
Hmm.
it the way you had to deal with it. So you had to establish some type of understanding of how to rely on yourself and how to help yourself. It's just like my love has always been music. You know what I'm saying? Like if it wasn't for music, I'd probably be dead or in jail or something like that. Like music gave me an identity through my childhood years when I felt like I didn't really have one. So it's like me growing into now and just being where I'm at now and just choosing to say, okay, I did this for the world for so many years. Like I did it behind the scene. I did it in the industry realm. I did it as an artist. I did it as a DJ, an influencer. I did it in the world. It's like now it's really not too much about music, but because of my talent and my capabilities, music come with it. But it's more of the purpose of my life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like me understanding the value of myself once I established that spiritual connection with God and just seeing how he looked at me based upon the capabilities he gave to me even more when I decided to pick up my cross and just establish and have that relationship. So me finding an importance in my life, it really helped me better identify my gifts even better. So with me making a decision to just transfer everything over and say now everything I do, I'm doing it for purpose. Like so it's not really in a sense religious based, it's
Hmm.
purpose based. But just so happens up under the umbrella and on the side of the cloth that I am on, that's my identity. And it's like God has an identity in everything I do because that's what I have my relationship
Hmm.
with. So, and if He's for the people, then my talents has to reflect and inspire and influence the people as well. So,
So in
Yeah.
the, I guess in the realm of purpose, I know that's something that a lot of people question. It's like, what am I here for, or whatever, or even going a little bit deeper. Aligning your purpose with your business, as Hazel was saying. How did you figure out, what your purpose was? I mean, you talk about this from spiritual perspective, a God conversation, if you will. How did that happen? How did that come about? I mean, how did you get even step deeper? How did you become confident that that's what God wanted you to do?
well, with me, the best way I can sum that up is just really having an understanding of the identity of your attributes. Like it's like I can actually give an example. Moses in the Bible, he was a man that stuttered, but because God approached him in
Hmm.
the bush, and then God gave him certain assignments, and He gave him special skill sets
Hmm.
for them
Hmm.
assignments, and them skill sets help identify his purpose because his obedience allowed him to carry out them assignments. So with me, it's like my purpose lies in all the different things God gave me when I made that choice that
Hmm.
school didn't give me, that me growing up, people didn't give me. It's like it was some things that was
Hmm.
within me. And when I made that choice, it's like it unlocked things that was within me. But he put people around me
Hmm.
to push it because he knew where I come from. Some of the struggles would allow me to give up or throw in a towel or
Hmm.
jump on something else. So he kept putting the right people in the right season around me to keep egging on what I unlocked in order for me to grow into. So what I would tell anybody is like everything that's tied into your purpose is already in you.
Hmm.
You was born with it. But what unlocks those different things, like a school or a degree, cannot unlock that. Like somebody telling you to do something cannot unlock that. You having that spiritual relationship with God, or you tapping into that, willing to tap into that to really step
Mm,
outside your own wants. Like it's like you have to literally get up and be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? What I'm doing in
mm,
life is bigger than me. And then it's like you have to think that, and you have to have that mindset of, I want to live life full and leave this world empty
mm,
because Christ did it. So when you do that, it unlocks all your gifts and all your talents because you have a certain reason why you're doing it. It's not just about self gain, it's about really impacting and influencing those that you come in contact with, because every moment of your life matters. When you wake up, that's a privilege because you could be dead. So when you wake up,
mm.
there's a reason why you woke up. And it's just different mindsets and different approaches on life help you unlock your purposes. But it starts with how you see life and how you think of yourself and the importance of you, based upon more, not the importance of you or how
Mhm,
to survive to another day, but the importance of you of how you're able to enlighten
mhm.
somebody else's survival thoughts and techniques and
Gotcha.
stuff
I
like that.
got you.
So, you know, I hope I answered
Did.
that question.
You did. It sounds like what you described as a very deep, very personal thing. I know that for me, in digging for my purpose, it was like you said, it was things that were in me, and there were things that I could reflect back to my childhood and say, oh, this is what I did. You know what I'm saying? And as you said, it's like it's in some ways it became it was very, very natural for me to say, okay, this is what I do. And then I can see it, pouring into other people, as you say. And then, as I become conscious of it, I put more energy into it. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I completely understand what you're saying. Okay, so a few months ago, as I was alluding to at the beginning of the show, we were planning on having a show. You've got your business. You were I think you were getting ready to launch something, or you had something big going on, and you got sidelined. And you got sidelined in a big way. Tell us what happened. Tell us what. Tell us about that situation.
Well, I caught COVID.
Most people don't laugh when they say that. I'm just put that
like
out there.
that's a lot in itself. I mean, like you be like, be like, and I caught COVID, and it actually, it 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 triggered my respiratory area. So you know what I'm saying. It was like it was hard for me to get oxygen and stuff like that into my lungs. So I was on a breathing machine for a week, rebuilding my lungs, and then when I got out the hospital, I think I was on the oxygen tank for like two to almost 3 weeks additionally. So it's like just allowing me to be able to move and stuff like that without running out of breath. You know what I'm saying? And learning how to properly breathe again and get oxygen back and just get my body back intact. But it was one of them experiences that I've been through a lot in life, but I ain't never experienced nothing like that before. I was on something else. But in the same sense, in that downtime from where I'm at now compared to where I was then, I might be the first one that say this, but because of purpose, I have to say this. I was kind of thankful God did that because he talked to me a lot. Like he literally set me down for like a week or two and just really, really like talked to me from within. So it's like that what the world would consider a sickness was actually awakening. So you know what I'm saying? I like, it just woke me up even more and allowed me to look at even more things a little bit better. So
So, how did it? I mean, that interrupted your business as well, But
yes, it actually,
hmm
in a sense, it did. Like
hmm
it did financially, but
Okay,
it
tell us
didn't
about that.
creatively. Um, because like of course I couldn't go anywhere because you have to quarantine, and it's like I had to cancel two paid, you know
Mm.
what I'm saying, a couple of
Mm.
paid gigs, and I had to send the
Wow.
money back. So that so I had to send a deposit back and I had to cancel it. So I was like, that hurt, but it allowed me to just really like tap into other areas in order to not totally lose everything around me and to really get in that creative mode. And it wasn't just a
Mm-hmm.
creative mode pertaining to my businesses, it was just more of a creative
Mm-hmm.
mode as well towards my approach to come. So right now I'm literally still in the creative mode. Like it ain't just got nothing to do with the stuff I have. It got something to do with how I present myself to people, how I deal with people, the learning curves, the
Mm-hmm.
different strategic ways
Mm-hmm.
to adjust,
Mhm.
to adapt, to move, to create, even when there's no creative
Mm-hmm.
process to create a process. Like the whole approach, like it really elevated me. So now I'm gradually getting, what I'm saying, everything is gradually coming back. Clients, I'm either to do more different things, tackle
Mm-hmm.
different things, be creative in different lanes, and just my approach to people is getting better, and that's changed. So it's like it allowed me to think outside the box.
Having success, you have a good track record as far as your brand management. Would you say that success has trapped you into like doing things a certain way, or like robbing you of spontaneous spirit prior to your big break?
Yes, I would say I would actually say it has helped a whole lot. It it's really helped a lot because it allowed me to focus on the right things. Like it allowed me to look at different things in my lane and just see a lot of stuff that people are not doing, or see a lot of stuff that people are
Mm-hmm.
careless with, and me tying into like the purpose. And it goes back to
Mm-hmm.
purpose. It's like when you understand purpose, you move different. Like you look at things different.
Mm-hmm.
While everybody looking at the opportunity of everything, you
For sure.
focus on the purpose of why it's even there. So your approach to it is a little different because the opportunity only take you a certain length. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like you have to cater to
Mm-hmm.
opportunity until another opportunity present itself. But if you approach it from a purpose standpoint, you creating opportunity inside of it. You creating opportunities inside of opportunities because you're looking more of the reason why it's there instead of how it can benefit you while being there. So that's just the angle that I took, and I talked to my artists about that. Like I just was like, we gonna have to do this like there's no resources. Even if I have resources around me, we gonna have to move where
Mm-hmm. I love
we
that.
gonna have to create resources for ourselves. So if we create resources for ourselves, then when we approach people, we're more assets than liabilities. And in this business, I learned people will deal with you more if you're more of an
Mm-hmm.
asset than a liability. Even if you need their services,
Mm-hmm.
what type of
Mm-hmm.
services are
So
you
true.
bringing to the
So
table
true.
at the same time?
There was an article recently. think it was in I think it was in Inc. magazine. Elon Musk was. They were talking about Elon Musk along the same veins, where the car companies here, they aren't able to get parts, to be able to actually ship their cars, and so all the car manufacturers are in the same spot. But Elon Musk was like, hey, you know what? Let's build the part. Let's build the part ourselves instead of waiting for it to come from China, so we can sell cars. And they sold cars. They outsold the rest of the market, in the last quarter. That's right on. That's awesome. That's awesome. Good thinking. Where does your entrepreneurial inspiration come from? Having to survive. You got to do
Surviving
it.
Love that.
Got
by
to eat.
by
Like
by
leaning
any
into
means.
pain.
Like you gotta survive. Like, yeah, and I guess it's like a crazy will. It's a sense of you
Hmm.
being stubborn, but you being stubborn in a good way, in a sense. Like you're not being stubborn in a selfish way. You're just being stubborn
Hmm. Hmm.
to you're being stubborn to
Hmm.
your doubts, and you're being stubborn to doubters. So you're being stubborn to your doubts and doubters. Like you're opening to everybody else, but you're being stubborn to them because it's almost like when I walked away from my job like 3, 4 years ago, I was determined I'm
Uh-huh.
not working. Like I can't work up under sin no more.
Okay.
If anything, I'm gonna work on top of it. So I can be in control of how I adjust and how I adapt and how I respond to people. So it'll help me be more of an influence
Oh, wow.
instead of
Wow.
struggling with
Wow.
what's trying to influence me. And I just like I'm like I got so much in me and I'm capable of doing a lot of different things. And it's like with with my wife, you know what I'm saying? I guess God talked to her too. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like she gave me the green thumb. She was like, okay, that's what you're gonna do it. So I'm like, all right, so I have somebody in my corner that supports me that I'm with that's actually like do it. So I'm like, okay. So I was just like, all right, I'm just start. And from there, I milked every gift I had in my body. Like I started doing everything to the point that some people tell me now they be like they'll say something like, "Well, man, you can get a team. You don't have to do everything. You be doing everything." And I'm like, because to me, what
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing is not
Mm-hmm.
really a lot of work because I love it and it comes natural and everything falls suit. So I'm like, when I grow to the extent where I feel like I need some help, I will
Mm-hmm.
I will extend that. Or if the Lord send me help, like He has, I'll accept it.
Mm-hmm.
But in certain areas, you got to be willing to move like me because of the type of mindset I have. Like it's like if I'm like stuff got to get done and you a little passive, I, I'm gonna leave you right where you at, and I'm gonna go in and do this, and then I come back to you. And if you looking at me like why you did it yourself, I'm like it needed to get done. So I'm like I'm not finna rebuttal with you about the importance of why when I can just go ahead and get it done. Like you either gonna ride this out with me, but yeah, it was just like it's
Mhm.
just like the struggle. Like the struggle pushed me, and just me being determined and being stubborn to doubters and people that will tell you like, hey man, if it don't work, man, you can always go back to work. I'm like, I have a different mindset right now. Like I have an entrepreneur mindset. I have a mindset where I've always had this mindset where if push comes to shove, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
walk out this door and I'm gonna bring back some food and some money. Like it's like,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not gonna do it illegally anymore. I'm actually gonna do it legally, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna bring back you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna bring back something. So it's like that's no different with this right here. I'm just like I'm like I have a mindset where if you talk to me crazy and I'm looking like I could be home making money, I look at you like, you know what I'm saying? We gonna solve this like this. I'm gonna clock out and I'm gonna just go to the crib and you can have all of this. And when you have that mindset,
Mm-hmm.
you don't really want to waste nobody time. You don't want to waste no job time. Cause you like the first thing to go left, I'm gone. So I don't even want you to train me and put all that
Mm-hmm.
work into me. Cause if you talk to me crazy, or I feel like I'm being done wrong, I'm 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 out of here. Cause my mindset is like I know how to
Mm-hmm.
work for myself. So I'm like, and it's like I know how to serve people. You know what I'm saying? And that's something else that you have to
Oh
have
yeah.
too. Like survival and
Oh yeah.
just having that will to serve people. Like you gonna have to serve people.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
customer service lacks a lot right now everywhere you go. So that's key. And if you have that, I don't care who has the most money or the better setup. If you have
Mm-hmm.
great structure, chemistry, customer service, and a wonderful
Mm-hmm.
work ethic, you will
Yeah.
always find
Totally.
a client
That's total. That's good
because
stuff.
that's
That's good
stuff that
stuff.
lack right now.
Got clarity and you walk towards it. So, it's like taking that small, courageous action. It doesn't matter whether or not it's small, medium, large action. It's the same exact thing. So, pulling on that courage, to go to take action. Yeah. So the first, the possibility of making
Oh yeah.
things happen. Do you remember the moment when it clicked the first time? You know, from not working in the music industry to actually having the vision, that first possibility when everything clicked and you had this idea. Yes, precisely.
You had an epiphany.
This is gonna sound crazy, but my first epiphany came when I was 8 years old.
Nah, tell us about it. Tell us about that.
I was watching a video. No, I was actually I was watching Crush Grooving. Yeah, I was watching the Crush Grooving movie. A lot of people don't know
Okay,
about that. They ain't
I
too
remember
young. The
that.
younger people be like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Look it up, look it up." But but
There you go.
it's like me seeing a movie where a bunch of kids, like teenager, like kids in the sense that was older than me, but there was kids, what I'm saying, in a sense, in how the movie narrated and portrayed it, and they was going through the struggle
Mm,
of life, but they were so passionate about their talent and their gifts, and they pushed
hmm
and they pushed towards the end where they got their break, and then it in fact it
mm.
fast forward to when I was 11, and I used to watch videos, and I was like, I can rap. Like I'm very like I can do better verses on their music than they can. I'm like I can like I see myself, and it's like I kept telling myself I'm gonna do this seriously, and it's like that epiphany hit me, and then to fast forward to now, it was like God blessed me to have a artist, a group that they was
hmm
trusting in me and willing to allow me to show them my capabilities. That comes a dime a
hmm
dozen. You don't catch a lot of artists that listens and that's patient enough and to allow you to really show your capabilities. And it's like all of that
hmm
came into, and the cherry on the top was when the job I was on start playing with my money when my check was short and my hours and stuff like that. And I'm like, and my health was giving me problems because I was working night shift. So everything gelled, and that epiphany was more like, I'm tired of doing this.
hmm
Like, if I'm gonna do
hmm
this, I'm gonna do it. Like, I did it before in the secular realm because I
hmm
walked off a job before in the secular realm when I went into the industry world, and
hmm
I had a great 3-year run until God closed all of that because He wanted to make a transition with my life. So I looked at that and I was like, if I gave up everything to go into the world and do it for the world, you telling me with me working beside God that I can't make that same approach, doing it with purpose? I'm like, if I
hmm
wasn't a coward back then and I did it, I definitely shouldn't be no coward right now. So it's like I was even more bolder now because when you're walking into the gospel, like God is not for sale. So it's like it has to be bigger than you trying to make money in a gospel industry. Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like there had to be other things bigger. So my epiphany centered around purpose, being tired, and just seeing from when I was young, when everything first hit me, that I was called to do greater things than what I was settling with.
Oh, that's powerful. That's really powerful. One of the things I've seen with a lot of entrepreneurs that are very very talented, like yourself, is it's always been one thing to have a great product, one thing something else to go to market with it, but actually getting customers, actually getting your brand out there, actually generating income is that is that thing that you know, is often elusive to people. I mean, you hear the statistics, 3 out of 4 businesses close, within a few years, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, what did you do in order to kind of get your marketing, your branding program going?
That is a awesome question, and I'm laughing because I'm like, wow, he actually asked that. Um, like I didn't turn down trying stuff. Like that's one thing. I never really like I never put all my eggs in one basket. Like yes, like
Okay.
because I'm an artist, I never put all my eggs into being an artist and keep recording music and doing that until it break. Nah, because I'm a DJ, I didn't put all my bags in. Okay, all my eggs in one basket of okay. I need gigs. I need to find more gigs and stuff like that. As me, nah, like me having a radio show came out of all
Mm-hmm.
of this. Never done radio. Have a radio show and I have a radio station and I'm also the music director of that station because I'm very good at music. I actually know a lot of what people want to hear. So I'm very good at putting, melodies, songs in pattern and playing and, like, and I studied successful people in the areas and where I
Mm-hmm.
was doing it. Like I studied people. Like I've always studied people in the entertainment realm, but like when I started doing radio shows, I
Mm-hmm.
watch The Breakfast Club every morning. I watch others different, shows. I watch different things. Even with podcasts,
Mm-hmm.
I watch the most successful people that was doing podcasts. I watched like I looked at the successful radio platforms. I started looking at people that was successful. And then I started looking at all the things they stopped doing because they got comfortable.
Mm.
And
Okay.
those the things I start doing. So everything that
Okay.
people stop doing because they got comfortable, that's what I started doing.
Okay.
So
Okay.
right now, I allow myself to be uncomfortable, but be based upon the results from it, I have a sense of comfort at the same time. So you know what I'm saying? It's like in a sense. So yeah. So I was able to put on all these hats and just work them, and just I thank God that if one was down, the other one was working. When the other one was down, two was working. Some days, all
Beautiful.
four of them was working. You know what I'm saying? Like I just kept things going. And I actually have a great friend of mine named Gregory Spencer.
Mm-hmm.
People call him Dub G, but he taught me how to hustle your talents in the process of trying to become that talent.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Give us
So
an example, of one place where you're able to, kind of fill that gap, where someone, some firm or something like that just didn't do what they needed to do in order to continue to, maintain their brand presence.
towards like the way certain people brand and market themselves on a consistent level, like
Mm-hmm.
being professionally polished about your brand and your market.
Mm-hmm.
Just staying on top of that. Doing a lot of things at the time that people needed. Like I started really curating artist music and helping them build their algorithm and
Mm-hmm.
establish a stream revenue. And I
Mm-hmm.
start really tapping into that. I start reading into that. I start looking at editorials. I start learning the different platforms that I'm actually pushing on, and that drew some
Mm-hmm.
value because I used to be an artist.
Mm-hmm.
So all this
Mm-hmm.
stuff I'm doing, I used to be an artist. So
Mm-hmm.
my approach to it is different. So when I talk to other artists, I understand them because I used to be there. But the way I'm relaying it to them is from an artist that done stepped out to elevate to say, hey, y'all, this is how this worked for you, this worked for you, and this is how we're going to work this so it can work for you. And let me see what you got going on. And I'm going to show you how to do you to make sense to this. So it's like I brought that artist development thing back. And from there, from me doing mix shows, I made sure I had mixed shows on some important platforms and
Mm-hmm.
numerous platforms, and just the way I promoted my mix shows. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like other DJs wasn't really promoting them like that on that sense. And it wasn't about me promoting the mix shows, I was promoting the artists with the mix shows. So with everything I was doing, I was highlighting who I was doing it for
Mm-hmm.
more than I was highlighting myself. And
Oh,
that's what shows a business. When you show your clients, like you can do a lot of stuff by yourself. You can always advertise self. But when you establish a brand around your clients, it's still showing you, but you've establishing a brand around your clients. You're highlighting them, and
Mm-hmm.
their response is what highlights you,
Mm-hmm.
and that brings more clients because more other clients are seeing that, and trust me, they with something that's not working with them and promoting them at the same time. They might be giving them service, but they're not highlighting them in the process. So it's other people that see what you're doing the right way, and everything else is God's blessing, man. It's like he knew when to bring me clients. He knew when I needed clients. He knew when I needed money.
Mm-hmm.
When I needed work, like he knows, and it's like I just stay busy and I make sure I do everything right, and it just like everything just come. It's like he's always on time. I just put it like that. He might not be what you call all the time, but he always on time. So you know, valuing everybody that they really have, that they come in contact with, that sets a constant fire to their careers. Like from a client to everybody, like value the people that value you. Like you're not big enough to where you feel like your presence is always doing people a favor, or
Mm-hmm.
your name is doing somebody a favor. Like no matter how big you are, you know what I'm saying, that goes back to purpose. When you understand purpose, you know that no matter how much I grow, I will never outgrow my purpose. My purpose will always be bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? I will grow in life, but I'll never become God. And the
Mm-hmm.
only thing that's bigger than your purpose is God, because He gave it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you feel like you're bigger than your purpose, then you think you God.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
so I'm just like just like just stay humble, value your blessing,
Mm-hmm.
and never get beside yourself. Or like sometimes, like, and this is something that I had to learn too, you can't make it about yourself all the time. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like you can't get so in yourself. Like you can't, like I had to learn that, and I'm still learning that. That's like an ongoing process, because there'll be sometimes where people will test you or take you out your realm, and you'll be like, the first thing that you will go to is, I did this for you. You remember when I did? Because you're right now, you're right. But it's not for you to be right sometimes. It's for
Yeah.
you to be a result.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
it's not always about being right, it's about being a result. And you may damage being a result because you want to be right. So it's like you just really have to, like, you just have to be like, hey, all this comes with it. You have to have empathy and understanding. You're gonna come across people that's gonna talk crazy. You're gonna come across people that don't know what they need, don't know what they're doing, and you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
come across people that don't know what they need to do with you, even when they want to be in your space. But that's all about growing. Like as you grow, it's your job to filter out your circle. It's nobody else's job. That's your job, because you want to expand. So in order to be successful, you got to learn how to filter out your own circle. Don't fuss at people in your circle.
Mm-hmm.
Just get them out your circle. Like you know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to nicely filter out, because you never know, that same person that you got in your feelings about may be trying to get it right, and they may leave and get it right, and they may get bigger where you gonna need them because they finally got it together,
Mm-hmm.
and you had to go through that too. You ain't always have it together. So you can't look at other people different because you got it together, and you looking at them funny because they ain't got it together. You used to be that person. So
Mm-hmm.
I just tell every entrepreneur, like, hey man, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to have patience, you have to have empathy, and you have to put people around you that remind you of you getting off your high horse. Like you have to allow people in your circle to tell you, hey, check yourself. Like
Mm-hmm.
check yourself. Like you got to keep the
Yeah.
people around you too. So
That's
yeah.
amazing.
That's good stuff, man. That's gold. That's gold. I know a lot of right. I know a lot of entrepreneurs can really grab a lot from that. I know that's one of the things that we talk about as well. Just having the right people on the bus, having the right people on the team, so that we can progress. I love you really embody the idea of work hard, stay humble. something I see around, a lot, and really, really sticks in my mind as well. It's like, am I working hard enough? Am I, putting myself in the right posture? It's important for me, like I noticed for you, to serve my team, serve my clients, honor God. And so, you've really, again, I mean, you've really given us some gold here.
Me as a millennial, I more than like monetary value, I would um be more loyal to serving a company that would um take care of its employees and staff. So fostering a people-centric environment, hearing their ideas, that is so very important, imperative rather, for all businesses out there.
Amen to
Absolutely,
that.
absolutely
Amen to
great.
that. Look at you. Look at you, Hazel. Look at you. Look at you. That's what I'm talking about.
She is wise, let me
That's
tell
what
you.
I'm talking about. I, I like that though. It's like I like that. If anybody don't take anything else from this actual, you know what I'm saying, discussion that we had, like just knowing that don't be afraid to grow. Don't keep people around you to stunt your growth.
Hmm.
And just really embrace the beauty of you every single day. Even if you got to grab from the small, don't always set yourself up based upon something that's out of your reach and you're that determined to reach it. God will put everything that's reachable to you, and He will put it in a sense where you will learn how to step above to reach for the next. So go at a pace, stay humble, and don't be bigger than your purpose, but be a bigger purpose to everybody else that you come in contact with.
Awesome, awesome. Bro, thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate, really glad we're able to reconnect, and so thankful that you recovered, and are back doing what you do. Hazel, thank you as always for your insightful questions and thoughts, and of course, co-hosting with the show. It's such a privilege, such a privilege. And everyone listening and watching, thank you so much for taking the time to listen and watch. Feel free to reach out to us. You can reach out to us at offthecuff@epiphany.com. You can catch us on Twitter. We're on Twitter, LinkedIn, uh, Instagram. We'd love to hear from you. Love to hear from you. Until next time, have a wonderful trip.